Mom life. If you know, you know. I'm so, what a day. What a day. What a day. If you're a mom watching this, you can relate when you just shut the door and you can get on with your time. Honestly, I don't have time to sit down and book proper videos. And maybe one day I will. But what I'm going to do today is better than not doing anything at all because I love watching these book reviews. So today, while I'm having a shower, I want to scrub up. I have all my stuff ready here. And I have my little, all my skincare stuff ready to go because I am ready to go and talk to you about books. In March, I read well over 10 books, and 6 of those books were Freida McFadden's books. So let's discuss from the top all the way down. Listen, I created a little bit of an obsession. I don't like problems. I don't like confrontations. I read for enjoyment, not politics. So here we are. I'm gonna hop in a shower and let's talk about this books while I have time. Yo, there's something about taking a shower after a long day and no kids are picking at you, and it's just so good. I'm gonna put a face mask on, and the first book I read is The Co-Worker. So let's talk about that book. So The Co-Worker is a story about Dawn and her co-worker Natalie. So Natalie is pretty much just chilling in the office, and her co-worker Dawn, who is like one of those really quiet girls, she's always on time, and like she's pretty lame in the office, as you could say. Oh gosh, it should be nicer, but you know what I mean. Like one of those people. So, and they're not really like friends. They're just acquaintances. And so then Natalie's like, "Oh, Dawn's not here," and I mean she's here at like before 9 o'clock, and it's like way past 9. She's not here. Like, what's up? What's going on? And a lot of stuff starts to happen. A lot of clues drop, and so it's kind of like I was like, oh, like who is it? I kind of guessed half of that, and the other half I was like, oh, like it was surprised. I actually really liked it. I would give this maybe a 4-star out of 5. Not bad, not bad. I was like, that was a good start. I was like, wasn't completely thrilled, but it was actually very entertaining to watch, to read. So that's that, and that's book 1. So while my face is drying, I'm gonna put lotion on off camera. So next book was Never Lie. Look at this while I'm putting the lotion on and talking to you, okay? I would give it like 4.75, almost a 5-star. This couple wanting to buy a house that a psychologist used to live in, and the chick, Trisha, she is feeling a little bit off with this house. She's like, I don't know how I feel about it, but Ethan, her fiance, is like super excited. He's like, we need to get it, I love it, we're getting it, it's so good. She's like, oh yeah, maybe. So they're going to inspect the house. The real estate agent never actually showed up, and then they start finding this old tapes that this psychologist chick that used to live there, she was recording every single one of her patients. So Trisha found the tapes and started listening to them. I read that straight after Co-Worker because I already had it, and I was choo-choo hooked on Freida's train. Never Lie, loved it, 5-star. Like, it's so good. I actually like psychological thrillers. Between this book and one more book that's coming out, I recommended people. I'm like, you need to read it. If you're into Silent Patient, you're gonna like this. All right, next, the locked door. My face is not dry, but let's put some detox patches on my feet because this Easter weekend got me messed up. Locked door. All right, there's a lot of, it was a bit, not gruesome. It wasn't entertaining gruesome. It was boring gruesome. I felt like it was very repetitive. So she is actually a successful surgeon, right? So she's a surgeon and one of her patients dies. And so they start questioning her because then there's another girl that later dies. And they're all like, it's all kind of, you know, they're forcing her to take the fall because the murders resemble some of the other murders that kind of a little bit linked to her in some way. I don't want to give too much away, but I did not like this book. I felt like it was very repetitive in a sense of like constantly reminding the father was in the basement doing stuff and she was like, okay, like she knew that something was off, and it's like, and it's always going back to that, like always going back to that, and it's just like, okay, we get it, you're traumatized, your father was a bad man, and this, and it's just like, I feel like half of the book, if you take out that repetitive stuff, half of the book would have been it. And this book is not that big, it's actually only like 300 pages. They're going from like a 4-star to a 5-star, and I give this like a 3-star. I think it's time to wash my face off. All right, next one we have The Inmate. Story behind this book. So we were going somewhere as a family, and then we're driving through these country roads, right? And then I see that this book went back in stock and came up, and I was like, we are doing the detour. And instead of going straight through, we're actually going to go along and stop off at Kmart because our Kmart closes at midnight. I read this book in one sitting, like 4 or 5 hours or something it took me. I was hooked. I love this book. 5-star, no hesitation. Right, so this chick, her name is Brooke, and she's going into this prison as a nurse practitioner. And number one rule they tell her is don't get friendly with the prisoners. I mean, I don't know if she's got, you know, I instantly thought maybe she got like bad boy syndrome thing going on or something. But apparently, she knew one of the prisoners there already. Yeah, so she goes in there and the dude, one of the dudes, she already knows him, and things start to go down. I don't want to tell you too much because then it's like, you know, you're gonna go in knowing, expecting too much. And I think the 5-star books, I didn't actually read what they were about. I hardly ever read the back of the book. Anyone who wants to read out of all this, you gotta read it. It's so good. I loved it. So good. Book number 5, The Teacher. I did not like it. First of all, they need to put some more trigger warnings in here because I did not want to read about some of the stuff that's going on here. Some stuff happened. I did not expect it. And there's a big age gap thing going on in here. And towards the end, I kind of guessed the plot as well. I don't know. 3 stars. Not bad, because it's still like Freida, but, you know. Alright, let's put some serum on. Oh, so cooling. Anyways, the last book. I got this one from Amazon, Ward D. It's weird. When I got it, I opened the pages and I was like, oh my god, why are they so white? Like, you know, every book is like got its own tone. Like all the pages, if you look at it, are completely different. So this one is about this chick in training. She is like a nurse in training, I think, and she's going for an evening work shift, like to stay overnight, in the psychiatric ward as part of her like training hours. So she's going to this hospital's inpatient mental health unit, and there's so many reasons why she doesn't want to be there. Her name is Amy, and she just gets this feeling that something terrible is going to happen. And then once she gets there, she realizes that everyone's in danger, and her worst nightmare apparently happens, and the feeling that she might never escape comes on. I like the sound of this. I was like, oh hell yeah, that sounds so good. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't the best. But I would give this maybe 3.75. Okay, the differences between this book, you know how you get books where you're reading and it's like so freaking boring, and towards the end plot twist happens, and then the whole book is worth it because of that plot twist. With this book, it was entertaining to read through it. The plot twist happened. It wasn't like shocking. It was interesting, but it wasn't shocking. But let's give this 3.75. 4. I don't know. Because that's what I'm saying, the plot twist, it wasn't like, don't expect this book to be like super like, oh my god, in the end, like The Inmate, for example. But it's entertaining to read it. They consistently entertaining through it. Like, you kind of like want to know what happened. The only disappointment is when you do get to the part where you're like, oh, what's going to happen? It's not like big boof. You know, you kind of like, oh, okay, that happened. Like, okay, cool. Wrap up. The 6 books that I read in March of Freida McFadden. And so The Co-worker, Never Lie, Locked Door, The Inmate, The Teacher, and Ward D. Now, again, so this is the collection for this month of Freida's books. I loved it. Thank you for joining me while I take a shower and just moisturize my face before I go and tell my kids off to go and brush their teeth and put pajamas on and all that good stuff. So if you can agree on any of them, or I really want to read another one, but there's nothing in store, so I actually have to order her books on Amazon. If you read her books and there's one that you really love, can you please write a comment and tell me which one I should buy next? Please. I'm a Libra. I'm undecisive. I really need your help. Anyways, peace out. Bye.